Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Honestly, I thank you guys for the support, the subscribers, the new subscribers, the likes, the comments. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. So we're going to cut this underbust cuts corsets. So yeah, you can make it like a two bustier, shoulder dart, princess dart, anyone, but like you're going to cut it at the under bust side. So it's not so different from our normal bustier we used to cut. It's just that at the under bust you're going to divide it and add some kind of allowance. So I just took my length measurement, which is my half length, because it's going to be like an half length dress. So plus your allowance, that's your joining allowance to the other half length, that's like the skirt part of it. So then you just take your normal basic bodies for your bustiers. I have a video on my channel on how to cut your two bustiers, how to cut your corset, how to cut your princess dart, basic top and everything. You can just check through. I'm going to drop the link and also tag it to this video. So I'm getting my under bust and my chest line, which also known as your upper bust. So you just connect them together and also label them too, so you won't get confused when you are making your lines and your darts. So the next thing is to get my shoulder line. That's your shoulder divided by 2. You mark it and then you go down by 1 inch for your slanting. So now you get your neck measurement and you connect the slants together to your neck, from your shoulder to your neck. Yes. So now I'm going to get my deepness of my neck. After connecting that, you take your shoulder, your armhole measurements, which is the same thing on my chest line, because this person does not really have a big bust, so it is likely to have the same measurements with your chest line. So I confirmed the shoulder measurement on the chest line and connected it. That was how I got this line. I hope that was explanatory enough. The line I just connected is from the shoulder to the armhole, which is the same thing with the chest line, so I just connected it. So now I'm measuring my midpoint, that's the nipple to the nipple measurement. You take it from your half length up to your chest line, connect them together. This is our normal that we used to take, but the action we're having on this whole tutorial is starting from our under bust. So you take your 1 inch on both sides on your half length, 1 inch on both sides on your under bust, and connect them together. After connecting them together, the next thing you do is to go down on your chest line by 0.5 or 0.75, just to make this curve, because you don't want your bust part to be very pointy and it's not always nice. So you just make your curve like this, go down on your chest line, that midpoint on your chest line, you go down by 0.5 or 0.75 highest, then you curve it. So now this are going to make this 0.5 hole, I'm sorry, 0.5 in, just to make that midpoint effect we used to have on our chest now. Because once you open it, it's going to be 1 inch. You're going to sew on both sides, so 0.5 is okay. You can make it more though, it's your choice, but 0.5 is still moderate, and that's what I'm using for this tutorial. So we're going to take our chest measurement and add 0.5 at the edge, because our bust is fuller on the side. That is why I'm adding that 0.5, just for ease. So yeah, this is how our bust is coming out. So now the next thing you're going to do is to, so what we're trying to do here is to make us know how open we want our chest to be, because people are different with different preference. You might want your chest to be open, maybe you don't want yours to open. So is this line I'm making now is like the starting point of your bust opening. So I use 6 inches because this person doesn't want to be too exposed. That's why I connected 6 inches from the top of the fabric, from that shoulder point to the 6 inches. So you're going to extend that your midpoint, whether 3.5 or 4 or 5 or whatever your midpoint is. You're going to extend that same line, or make your dart. This is for the upper dart at the up part. Make your 1 inch dart on both sides and then connect it back to that 0.5 that we took in the for the midpoint area. Then you connect it to the other side also, and we are done with our cup. Also make that your curve back to that 0.5. So I feel like this is explanatory enough. We are done with our cups already. We've gotten our left and our right side cup. Now that's our dart we took. We're going to add it back. Taking our chest measurement already the other time to get this curve. So the 2 inches we borrowed to get this dart, we're going to add it back plus your 1.5 for your sewing allowance. But if you don't add your allowance on your pattern, you can add that your sewing allowance on your fabric. But I do add my own because I don't want to forget and have any issues when I'm cutting. And also I also have physical students too, so I feel like it's better for me to just explain everything at once. So I always add my allowances. Now on the waist, I added back my 2 inches I borrowed plus my sewing allowance all at once. So you just connect them together, and this is how it is looking like. Then I'm trying to make my armhole. Why I'm even cutting on the pattern in the first place? Because of my allowance, and I don't want to have like problem with allowance when if I'm cutting on my fabric. So now the main purpose of this tutorial is for our underbust cut. So now when you're cutting this kind of corset, our cutting is going to start from the underbust. Like we're going to separate the underbust out of the upper bust and the chest line and the shoulder and our yoke. It is an underbust corset. After cutting the underbust side away, now I'm going to gently just watch how I'm cutting mine also. With that, I'm going to separate it from the yoke. And this is how simple it is. When you're done with that, also we've added all our allowances already, so we don't have any problem with we're adding allowance, we are doing this. Is now when you're cutting these patterns on your fabric, you're going to add 0.5 inch on every side you are joining. So like this our dart place, you're adding 0.5. This shoulder armhole side I'm cutting, you're adding 0.5 because you have to join it to the body. So yes, that is where we are adding our allowance.